Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this virtual edition of Founders Day 2020. My name is Mike Avedisian, and I sit on the board of directors at Selwyn House. I hope you're all staying safe and well during these challenging times. I, for one, can't wait until we can hold these events in person again. We have been fortunate to be led by Mike Downey, his senior administration team, and the faculty this year. Mike took on the role of headmaster this July. He has been instrumental in navigating the school through this pandemic. His team and the faculty have been working tirelessly to ensure a safe and engaging learning environment for our boys, all while respecting the current public health guidelines. The learning curve has been steep for Mike, but like a true scientist, his patience, attention to detail, and persistence serves us all well during these challenging times. From a board perspective, we have implemented new initiatives. Here are a few to highlight. First off, we are working on our strategic plan for the school with an eye to the future. In conjunction with Mike and the senior administration team, we've engaged the services of Dr. Phil Cummings of Circle Education. Circle is the Center for Innovation, Research, Creativity, and Leadership in Education. The Strategic Planning Committee, with the above mentioned, have reworked our mission statement and educational philosophy. Second, September 2021 will mark the beginning of a new era at Selwyn House, one in which we no longer accept grants from the Quebec government. In light of this, the board's marketing committee is working closely with Director of Admissions Nathalie Gervais and the team. Their goal is to reach out to communities in Montreal and beyond in order to attract newly eligible students who can now enjoy a Selwyn education. Finally, we are in the process of launching Selwyn House's new endowment campaign. With the challenges presented by the pandemic and the school's new strategic direction, financial support from Old Boys and the entire Selwyn community is more important than ever. The fundraising committee and newly appointed Director of Advancement, Sharon Cousins, will have more to share shortly. Now on to tonight's festivities. On behalf of the Board of Directors and the entire Selwyn community, I would like to congratulate Hal Hannaford, this year's recipient of the Speirs Medal, the highest honor bestowed by Selwyn House. Hal's commitment to boys' education, defining the pillars of Veritas, and the development of a strong faculty culture will benefit the school for years to come. Thank you, Hal. Over to you, Mike, and enjoy your evening.
Thank you, Mike. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, board members, current and former staff, old boys, past and current parents, and friends. Thank you for tuning in from home this evening. A very warm welcome to you all. Founders Day is an event we look forward to every year as it brings the Selwyn House School community together to honor our founder, Algernon Lucas, who established our school in 1908. I'd like to give a special welcome to former headmasters, Mr. Will Mitchell and Mr. Hal Hannaford, who are both here with us tonight. I've been extremely fortunate over the past 30 years to have learned under both Hal and Will, two of the most respected headmasters in the country. Back then, Will was a young headmaster who convinced me not to follow my plans to teach in the Lakeshore School Board, but instead come to the independent school system, something I knew very little about, and to teach at Selwyn House, a school I knew even less about. For the record, I'm so happy that he did. Both Will and Hal are two leaders who have had a great impact on me. Thanks to you both for being here tonight, and on a personal note, thank you for helping me become the person that I am today. So, welcome to Founders Day 2020. Holding our annual celebration by Zoom was not how I imagined my first Founders Day as headmaster. These are strange times we're living in, but we're making the best of it. We're lucky, thankful, and happy to have this great community that comes together no matter the circumstances. One thing I have witnessed during my time at Selwyn is that it is the people, the community, in other words, everyone here tonight, who makes this school great. As you get to know me better, you will see that I'm very, very proud to be part of the Selwyn House family. I care deeply for the school and the people, from the staff, students, and parents, to the alumni and their parents. Our community is an important one, and our actions have a direct impact on others. We've learned during the pandemic that the world is a very small place and that we're in this together. You know, Hal Hannaford used to always say that at any given time, 25% of any group is struggling with something. And you know what? I suspect in these times that percentage is considerably higher. Please, let's take good care of each other. Let's take the time to watch out for one another. We are stronger together. Having a caring community is echoed in our school's mission. It is the basis for a compassionate and supportive environment that enables our boys to be respectful, resilient, and hardworking young men. Our boys go on to pursue fulfilled, balanced, and purposeful lives anchored by Selwyn Veritas. We regularly talk about our school's mission and vision, and they are front and center on the school's webpage. You may have read about Selwyn Veritas and our 3 truths there. This past summer, the administrative team spent time reworking our vision statement and fine-tuning our educational philosophy. We felt that it was important to add a 4th truth to be even more aligned with the world around us. We expect our boys to be true to themselves, true to others, and true to their school. But we also want our boys to be true to their world through integrity, leadership, partnership, and justice. We want our graduates to take responsibility for their social and civic duty to do what is right, fair, and honorable. At the heart of True to Your World, we hope to engage thoughtfully and intentionally with global programming and local initiatives that are based on action which promote diversity, equity, and inclusion. Also aligned with this pillar is the school's Our House Committee, which is a group of teachers, staff, and students from all grades who work to promote dialogue and understanding around a variety of issues. Another area of focus that under True to Your World has been the development of our Indigenous Student Committee. Our Mohawk students gather regularly and have put together goals for the school. One of them was to recognize Orange Shirt Day as a school-wide initiative on September 30th. The boys sold 200 t-shirts and spoke their truth about the residential school system in Canada. We're very proud of their willingness to share personal stories, and thanks to their leadership, we're in the beginning stages of an indigenization process. Supporting students in ways that help us grow as a community is crucial during these times. I have always been a big believer in modeling the behavior we expect from the boys. They are always watching and learning from their parents and their teachers. They will follow what we do and not necessarily what we say. So whether it's learning something about history, solving a math problem, or driving a car, how we speak to one another matters, and how we treat one another matters. So far, I've enjoyed my time reading to the kindergarten boys about kindness, but it is a message that I will instill all the way to grade 11. When we feel known and loved, it is easier to be kind to one another. Speaking of known and loved, I'd like to recognize the unbelievably hard work, dedication, and enthusiasm that the faculty and staff bring to school each day. Everyone is doing more duties and more work this year, and they consistently have new ideas on how to adjust every time the government has a new announcement about what we can and cannot do. It's a different year to be sure, but thanks to the energy and resilience of our students, parents, and especially the staff, the school environment is a happy one. Our theme this year is Stronger Together. We were all given t-shirts to remind us of this motto. I look forward to moving the school community together with the priorities that both Mike Avedisian and I outlined tonight. I hope you enjoy the remainder of this evening's celebration, and I look forward to the time when you can come back and say hello in person. Now it is my pleasure to turn things over to Mr. Tom Pitfield, class of 1993, to present the first award of the evening.
It's my honor and privilege to tell you a little bit about my mom and what being a parent volunteer at Selwyn House meant to her and our family. Nancy pioneered a number of parent-run initiatives during my time at Selwyn. They were specifically directed to facilitating student-led projects, sports teams, and the arts. She was a familiar figure around the school, where she worked with other parents to build the sense of community we've come to know and love. To honor my mother's memory and to recognize others who continue to make our school a better place, the Nancy Pitfield Volunteer Award is given each year at Founders Day in recognition of those who give selflessly and demonstrate exceptional volunteerism and support for the Selwyn House community. It is my pleasure to introduce a former recipient of this award and current chair of the Parent Volunteer Association, Karen Anderson, to present this year's award.
I am thrilled to dedicate the Nancy Pitfield Award this year to my friend, Rula Rossi. Rula started her experience at Selwyn when her oldest son, William, started kindergarten in 2004. William was joined by her youngest son, Christopher, in 2009. Rula has been a generous member of the Selwyn House community in a way that not every stakeholder would see. Rula bravely stepped into the role of chairperson for the hugely successful Glitz and Glam Gala in 2016, where over $121,000 was raised for the Selwyn Student Success Center. Undaunted by the challenges of heading a successful event, Rula again volunteered to chair the known and loved gala that has been postponed to October 2021. This gala in particular is an incredible task, as we'll not only recognize and honor Hal Hannaford and Susan Doherty for their contributions to Selwyn House, but will initiate a fund for mental health and wellness in their name. We've already reached over $75,000 in donations to establish this fund, thanks to Rula's hard work. Rula, your tireless support of Selwyn and your hands-on leadership is being recognized with the Nancy Pitfield Award. Thank you for all your contributions to the school. Congratulations, Rula. I would now like to turn it over to Joshua Weisenthal from the class of '99 and president of the Old Boys Association to honor an amazing group of teachers and staff very near and dear to our hearts.
The Selwyn House Old Boys Association is made up of alumni from around the world, and within that, a core group of us make up the Old Boys Association board, and we work together with Sharon Cousins, Marianne Clordy, and the Advancement Office to ensure that we are connected to each other and to the school in many different meaningful ways. Aside from organizing events and reunions, we also have the pleasure of building community by recognizing outstanding contributions made by those who have made a significant impact at Selwyn House. First, I would like to recognize the following faculty and staff who recently retired and who dedicated 25 years or more of service to the school. The 25-year service wall, located in the Lucas Main hallway, serves as a testimony to the affection and appreciation that the Old Boys have for those who have contributed to the life of the school and to its history. This year, the combined years of dedicated service from the following faculty and staff members reaches almost 200 years, an incredible milestone. Roman Pilot taught at Selwyn House for 35 years. He was an English teacher and history teacher in 7 elementary grades. He is a trained master of the art of storytelling and an outstanding example of excellence in teaching at Selwyn House. Carol Manning was at Selwyn House for 38 years. She taught in elementary school and coached basketball, tennis, and rowing. In 1991, she led the team that established the middle school for grades 7 and 8 and served as head of the middle school until her retirement. Christine Krushelniski was at Selwyn House for 39 years. She ran the school's print shop and book room and assisted at reception. She helped with school plays and the annual garage sale, and she and her late husband Mark are honorary Old Boys. James McMillan was at Selwyn House for 41 years. He taught music and founded the Old Boys Blues Band. He created the Advancement Office, which maintains the Old Boys Network and raises funds for financial aid, as well as construction and renovation projects. Brad Moffat taught at Selwyn House for 45 years. He taught physics at all senior school levels, and he volunteered with the Computer Science Club, started the chess club, as well as founded the robotics program. He also coached cross-country running and skiing, rowing, and racket sports. These amazing individuals joined 32 others who have dedicated their careers to our school. Congratulations to all. Typically, when we gather as a community every year on Founders Day, a number of guests can be seen adorning this pin. Those who wear it proudly have been recognized as an honorary Old Boy, and they include members of our community, parents, faculty and staff, and others who have gone above and beyond to their level of contribution to Selwyn House. This year, it is our pleasure to induct these special individuals into our ranks as honorary Old Boys of the school's Old Boys Association. Hal Hannaford, Roman Pilot, Carol Manning, James McMillan, and Brad Moffat. These dedicated and talented honorees join 24 others who have received the Honorary Old Boys recognition since its inception in 2008. Congratulations to all award winners on this special occasion.
I have always felt that our school is a dynamic and engaging place to work because of the many teachers and staff who dedicate years of their lives here. Through their love of teaching and commitment to developing all aspects of school life, we have a great legacy to be proud of. In particular, the school is very fortunate to have Dr. Robert Speirs as its headmaster for 26 years. During his time at the school, Dr. Speirs pushed forward the importance of French classes. He wanted more Francophone students in the school, so that both English-speaking and French-speaking students could afford each other an opportunity to understand one another and admire each other under one community. He was also a big believer in school spirit that developed from participating in extracurricular activities. Dr. Speirs is remembered as a great headmaster and as a great leader in independent education. Today, his vision lives on in many things that we do at Selwyn House. Dr. Speirs passed away in 1981, and in his memory, the Board of Directors created the Speirs Medal. It is the highest honor that the school can bestow and is presented every year at Founders Day. And it is my distinct pleasure to welcome Minna Schulman, the 2019 Speirs Medalist, to introduce this year's recipient, Mr. Hal Hannaford.
It is such an honor, a great honor, for me to introduce this year's Speirs Medalist, Mr. Hal Hannaford, my boss, my mentor, my hero, and my dear friend. I am thrilled to represent the hundreds of faculty, students, and families who find Hal compelling, creative, competent, compassionate, and charismatic. He is so deserving of this honor. When Hal arrived at Selwyn House in 2009, he became the headmaster of a beautifully designed institution with well-established programs and strong academics. Ted Claxton, then the chair of the Selwyn House Board of Directors, referred to Selwyn House School as the place, the school that Will built. That would be Will Mitchell, Selwyn House's beloved 7th headmaster and also a Speirs Medalist. Within months of arriving in Montreal, Hal began his magic. He worked to nourish and nurture the very solid framework and sound structure that Will Mitchell built, and to fill the school with increased heart and soul that reflected Hal's strong values of community, connectedness, relationships, resilience, love, laughter, and of course, music. In the 2009 Veritas magazine, Hal wrote, "We must move to accentuate and articulate the Selwyn House advantages, celebrate the success of boys' schools, determine what a bilingual education means to Selwyn House, figure out how to clearly express our values, and finally, we must ask ourselves what is required to prepare our boys for a successful university career." Hal more than surpassed his preliminary and very challenging goals. All we have to do is ask the hundreds of Selwyn House Old Boys from '09 through today, and they will masterfully articulate in English et en français the positive and lasting impact of a boys-only education, the small school advantage, and their personal preparedness and journey from Selwyn House to post-secondary education and beyond. I venture to say that every boy who attended Selwyn House with Hal will never, ever forget him. In fact, we were so concerned about the hordes of people who would want to attend this Founders Day event to honor our beloved Hal that we had planned to move the venue to the Bell Center. Hopefully, during these crazy days of COVID, someone remembered to cancel that contract. Hal pushed us all to greatness. His keen observation, clever mind, and huge heart helped define our vision and mission, reinforcing Veritas, a brand that we could all embrace and embody. Hal has one of the quickest and sharpest minds, and his ability to see the big picture, his strengths as a visionary, and his business acumen are so impressive. Hal's leadership was transformational for so many of us as he sought to understand, embrace, enhance, and help us build upon our own strengths. Hal's beliefs are deeply rooted in not the flavor of the month nor the latest trends in educational or organizational leadership, but profoundly established concepts and beliefs that help guide our whole community to focus on what is truly important. He was known to repeat and remind us regularly of these strongly held beliefs, and thank goodness he did. It is so easy to be swayed by the latest and the greatest, but we are in the business of raising great men, and that requires rigor, repetition, reminders, reflections, and occasional realignments. Sometimes easy to underestimate with his stunning outfits, his perfectly coiffed hair, and quick-witted creative bursts of song and rhyme, Hal is a very serious thinker and deeply spiritual and sensitive. Although his outgoing, super friendly, life-of-the-party personality often seems larger than life, I think Hal has no idea how truly great and inspiring he is. Blessed with a trigger-sharp brain for names, dates, figures, ideas, it takes him no time to assess most situations and to formulate a plan of action. And he makes it all look so easy. He knew every boy's name. He visited every classroom. He kept up with the professional and personal life of every faculty member. He wrote a personal birthday card to everyone in school. He regularly crafted articles on his core beliefs and tweeted encouragements, fun facts, and theories of life. He shared staff accomplishments with board members, maintained the play yards, decorated the hallways, his office, and of course the blues bathroom. He arranged the flower pots and was fully prepared for the upcoming week by spending Saturdays on the grounds and Sundays at his desk. Hal brought us the handshake, a dedication to boys and boys' education. He brought us known and loved as a goal for all of us, which made our experiences at Selwyn House deeper, richer, and aligned with our true mission, to fill all of our students and all of our community with love and support so that we all become truly great people. And Hal demonstrated his love of the boys and all of us on a daily basis. He brought us the concept of faculty culture and that faculty must be a priority if parents want their sons to be happy and well served. He promoted and elevated the arts and individual faculty initiatives. He accelerated athletics and encouraged high-level competition. Hal expanded our programs in student life, including a focus on service learning, outdoor and experiential education, and sustainability. He reinforced the benefits of mindfulness and started every assembly with a mindfulness exercise. Hal raised our awareness about mental health and the stresses of daily living with a reminder that at any one time, at least 20% of us were going through a hard time in terms of our own emotional and mental health. We are forever grateful to Susan and Hal for their openness to share their intertwined struggles with Hal's mental illness and Susan's dire health issues. They have elevated our knowledge and understanding of mental health and have humanized and normalized the issues through their presentations locally, nationally, and internationally. Hal supported all efforts to address fairness and inequities from the LGBTQ2+ to Indigenous, racial, and gender inequities, and he encouraged the creation of One House, initiatives to raise awareness such as Black History Month, Orange Shirt Day, Diversity Week, and ensuring and celebrating that Selwyn House faculty and administration were loaded with female strength and guidance. Hal institutionalized professional development and made all of us so proud as he spearheaded such initiatives as the QAIS PED Days. He helped many faculty grow through opportunities such as the Case Leadership Institute, through involvement in international organizations such as ICENE, the IBSC, and NAIS. Hal hoped to teach and lead by example rather than by directive. And if we were paying attention, there was so very much for us to learn. Hal taught us that no job is beneath us, that it takes all of us to have a clean, neat, safe, and loving environment, that everyone deserves our support, that we need to assume the best intentions of others, that everyone makes mistakes, and forgiveness is a virtue, that schools need to be safe, caring places for all of our students, our faculty, and our whole community, that the most difficult of us might just need the most gentle support and encouragement, that focusing on the positive rather than trying to correct the negative usually works best, that being prepared paves the way to a great performance, that there is a perfect outfit or costume for every occasion. And I just discovered that his love of all things Halloween has a lot to do with the fact that he and Susan met on October 31st, 1978. No wonder he is such a dress-up guy. He taught us that birthdays need to be celebrated, that valuing others and sharing the limelight makes everyone feel enhanced, that family and friendships are of vital importance. Blessed with an adoring father himself, Hal cherishes his and Susan's children, Elise and Reed, and Elise's husband, Chris. Hal's devotion to his family and his loving care of Susan during her illness, as well as his palpable pride in everything Susan, Elise, Reed, and Chris have attempted and accomplished, has provided vital lessons on love and family for all of us. Hal taught us that even though a headmaster must raise the needed funds to deliver the programs that enhance our students, his most important role when dealing with parents was to help them lovingly raise their fabulous sons and to help parents truly honor boyhood and embrace the challenges and joys of living and growing with their boys every day. And we could not forget the fun. And almost everything was more fun if Hal was involved. Singing in the hallways, dancing with the stars and the non-stars, creating name cards with stickers and sayings that were clever and meaningful, loving to be dunked in the dunk tank, leading the water fight, taking over the drum kit at every opportunity, including band concerts, parties, and maybe even the Jazz Fest, filling us with saltwater taffies and chocolates, welcoming everyone personally at parents' nights, board meetings, gala events, meet the headmaster, reunions, and more, cameo performances in school plays, creating havoc in the classrooms, setting the example in the Terry Fox run, jumping into the mosh pit at the grad dinner dances, cheering our teams at all levels, having caricatures made for special occasions and retirements, dressing as Santa and with Mrs. Claus, aka Susan, delivering gifts to faculty children and grandchildren, attending faculty performances and parties, taking us to workshops, conferences, competitions, retreats, and Old Boys events, and making every outing a wonderful adventure and learning experience. And hosting the school celebrations with surprises and back-to-school goodie bags for all. Susan and Hal cared so much about Selwyn House School that they advocated, almost relentlessly, for Mike Downey to become the 9th headmaster. Hal's prophecy that we would never find a better candidate than Mike Downey for the position of Selwyn House headmaster proved to be so true. It is exciting that the school that Will built and the school that Hal made a home by furnishing it with vision, heart, and soul is now under the leadership of Mike Downey, another beloved Selwyn House leader. Mike, with his huge tool chest of Selwyn House experience and his great love of the school and all its constituents, embodies much that is wonderful about his two predecessors, Will Mitchell and Hal Hannaford. Every school and organization that Hal Hannaford has touched has benefited and thrived from his dynamic leadership and long-lasting contributions. From Kilcoo Camp to the Case Leadership Institute, from Kingsway College School to Royal St. George's, from Selwyn House to the QAIS and the International Coalition of Boys Schools. At conferences and board meetings, wherever you travel with Hal, locally and internationally, Hal is literally surrounded by his adoring flock of friends and colleagues and embraced with love and respect. And let us not forget that his efforts as a community volunteer and auctioneer has helped raise over $30 million for countless organizations and endeavors. It is no secret that I love this man, and I have learned so much from him. I have loved working, playing, debating, dancing, planning, scheming, sharing, dreaming with Hal. Like so many of you, I will always treasure these years with him. Hal has enhanced all of our lives, made our days more meaningful and fulfilling, made our professional growth and development more focused and more fun. He paved the way for deeper and more loving relationships with the boys, the faculty, and our families, and the community. And he left our beloved school with so many lasting and meaningful gifts, born of his vision, his dedication, intelligence, creativity, and his heart and his soul. I thank Hal for this wonderful honor and opportunity to pay tribute to him and to remind him that the entire Selwyn House community truly knows and deeply loves him, our Hal Hannaford. Thank you all.
Oh, good evening, everyone. And you thought I would be playing the drums? This evolution to the piano might be a bit of a sign that I'm actually maturing. Probably not. Anyway, listen, Minna, thank you. I was so honored last year to be able to be the one to introduce you as you received, or was last year's recipient for the Speirs Medal, and for you to reciprocate and do the same thing. I can't tell you how much that means to me, to Susan, our family. You've just been so instrumental in so many people's lives, and certainly my life as well. So thank you so very, very, very much. I'm extremely humbled, ladies and gentlemen, to be this year's recipient of the Speirs Medal. It is a tremendous honor, and I want to begin by acknowledging our board of directors, and a special thanks to all of them for allowing me to be this year's recipient. In my career at Selwyn House, I was blessed with 4 chairs of board. Ted Claxton, when I arrived, who really was the transition for Susan and I as we moved to Montreal and assimilated into Selwyn House. Michael Denham, who was great force of stability during his tenure as a chair. John Goldblum, who tirelessly and never ever stopped working on behalf of Selwyn House, QAIS, English education in Canada, and it was the chair that really led us in our journey evolving away from government grants. And then finally, Mike Avedizian, everybody's great guy, who's there for the transition between me and Mike Downey. 4 incredible people, and again, thank you to all of the board. There's so many aspects that are truly important at Selwyn House, and I want to just sort of try to highlight what is truly important to me and what I was so glad to be a part of. So let me try to articulate and explain what I was so glad to be a part of during my tenure at Selwyn House. Well, the first, and this should be pretty obvious, was the development of our brand, Veritas. It's an important word to me. Veritas is based on the original founding traditions of the school, and hopefully we brought it 100-odd years later into something that is really current and modern. And even the evolution from 3 truths to 4 truths, well done everyone, which is really quite important, is staggering. So I just hope that Veritas is something that will remain alive and well for the duration of the Selwyn House history. The very fact that we call ourselves a relational school. Look, I know that relationships are the medium by which boys learn best. And becoming a relational school is everything. And if we are devoted to that and we maintain our devotion, it will be an experience for our boys that will really be unmatched. The third thing I was so glad to be part of is the whole concept of the glory of education. We fight for the underdog. Education is about taking people and taking young boys and molding them into substantial and great men. And it doesn't matter who the boy is. The success we've had has been incredible. And it makes all of our students stronger and stronger when they experience different boys in the journey they have. All under the auspices of the glory of education. And then finally, faculty culture. Look, everyone knows that I've stood for faculty culture. Everyone has heard me say that at Selwyn House, it's not the boys and the parents who are number one. It needs to be the teachers and the staff who are number one. And there's a reason for that. We must allow our teachers to be able to exercise all their creativity, all their own personal vision, and that's what they can do. It's a great faculty at this school, and I was so honored to be able to work with all of them. So the concept of Veritas, known and loved, a relational school, faculty culture, the glory of education, all incredibly important. And now, I just want to go through the final journey, which is the journey of a boy to a man and what it really requires. So we always talk about what is required in order for a boy to become a truly great or a significant man, or what any adjective you wanted to. And I will claim that there are 4 aspects that are important. The first is boys must be exposed to really important, valuable male role models. The value importance of a father. There's no more important role model. And I can't tell you that when I look at Mike Downey and how thrilled I was that Mike is my successor, but isn't Mike the epitome of a great role model for boys, representing integrity and honesty and hard work and commitment and passion? That's Mike, and I hope everybody follows that. So boys need really effective and strong male role models, but you will never become a truly great or significant man without substantial female influence. And look at Selwyn House. I talked about Minna, and the legendary Minna Shulman, and then the women, the remarkable women that I had the opportunity and honor to work with. Carol Manning, Kathy Funamoto, Courtney Preer, Brenda Montgomery, Mathilde Codina, all incredible forces that just made such a difference in the life of this school and the life of many others. Male role models, really strong female influence, and then there are 2 other things that are incredibly important. So we talk about the journey from boyhood into becoming a significant and a great man. And I mentioned about the value of male role models and the influence from women, how important that is. And there are 2 other aspects. The third is that you can't take the boy out of a boy. In order to become a truly great man, you must be a boy first. And that's really what I try to emphasize. I know, I have a lot of boy left in me, and I always think I will have a lot of boy in me. But we have to let boys be boys. Let them be boys. Go through that messy, clumsy, goofy time and watch what happens at the other side. And finally, to become a great man, it's a function of your friends and your family. Friends are everything. I've been so blessed with so many great friends, wonderful mentors, and my family. I have 2 wonderful children, Elise and her husband Christopher, both doctors working on the front lines at the Hospital of the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia. Reed, a young filmmaker living in New York City. But, one thing I know is you cannot do this thing alone. So as I said, you can never do this alone. And I have been blessed over the years with the most incredible partner in love, the love of my life, Susan Doherty.
Thank you, Hal. My one comment is to say that what a thrill it's been to be alongside a man who has chosen a career path that so perfectly suits his personality. We have laughed, we have cried, but we have lived this journey together.
And let's be clear, my success is Susan's success. There is no possible way I could have done this without Susan. A lot of people know about the issues we have gone through, certainly from a health point of view, from my own mental health issues to Susan and physical health and stem cell transplants, but we did it together, and Susan has been just as big a part of Selwyn House as I ever was. So again, from both of us, thank you so much for this humbling honor. We are very, very, very grateful, and we will never forget you. We miss you, but we'll never forget you.
And until soon.
Goodbye, everybody, and
Goodbye.
God bless.
Au revoir.
Congratulations, Hal. We are so happy for you and all that you've accomplished in your long-standing career as a headmaster. For those of you who may not remember, the students also have a Founders Day celebration during the day. And this morning we honored Hal at a school assembly, which was broadcast in each classroom. Several students were involved in delivering Mr. Hannaford his Speirs Medal through a Mission Impossible series of events. And our head prefect, Mr. George Adamopoulos, accomplished his task and gave the medal to Hal in person. Fantastic. Thank you, George. The final piece. The Speirs Medal. I'd like to present this year's Speirs Medal to Mr. Hal Hannaford. Congratulations, Hal. Before we move on to our live celebrations with this evening's honorees, I'd like to acknowledge the hard work of all of the faculty and staff who put this event together. In particular, thanks to Sharon Walker, Courtney Prieur, J.P. Trudeau, Claire Stewart, Sharon Cousins, and the entire advancement office. So now please fill up your glass and join us in the Zoom link provided in your RSVP email as we give a live toast to retired faculty members. And after the brief toast to the retirees, you'll be able to chat with each of them in separate breakout rooms. See you there.